on, everybody? It's your boy back again for another video. It's a fine Sunday afternoon. Just got off of work, heading over to church. Gonna take charge. I lead a group of high school boys at my local church. If any of my boys are watching this, hello. Shout out to you guys. Yeah, heading over, decided to take the bike out. Weather forecast is a little sketchy today. It looks like it's allegedly gonna have showers around 5 o'clock, but that is a-okay. We're gonna have a good time regardless. I'm gonna have fun. Oh, that guy didn't see my wave. What a bummer. Gonna have a fun time, fun little ride, not too long. Figured I would go ahead and record. I don't have a ton of battery life left on my camera, unfortunately, but I should have just enough for this video. Wanted to give a quick chat today based on the title of the video. Things that I recognized, or things that I started to notice after I started riding motorcycles, which some people would probably assume or say, nah, I don't notice that many differences. It's about the same. Those people are liars. It is not the same. You start noticing things that, you know, when you were driving a car, it never once occurred to you, or you just never really noticed it while you're driving and out and about. And I think there is a very good reason for why you start to notice a lot more random small things once you are riding a motorcycle every day, every weekend, once a month, doesn't matter. You're going to pick up on at least one of these things that I mentioned here. First thing that I started noticing once I was riding a motorcycle is how many people text and drive. Oh my God, it absolutely drives me nuts. I think, I'm sure a handful of you also watch this dude's channel, Dirt Bike Lunatic on YouTube. This dude just uploads, you know, it's a bunch of little compilation videos, a bunch of different clips, all motorcycle related. Sometimes it's running from cops, sometimes it's, you know, happy moments on a bike, who knows. I mean, he just uploads all sorts of cool stuff. But all clip compilations, things that he pulls off of YouTube, Instagram, whatever, wherever. But a common video that he will upload is, you know, top mirror smashes for the month or for the year or for the week or whatever. And I have watched that dude's videos since before I rode a motorcycle. So I would see, I mean, almost in every video he uploaded, somebody going up and knocking on the window of a car because they're sitting there texting at a light, missing that it's green, or they're sitting there texting while driving, or, you know, sometimes they end up getting their mirror punched out because they're just swerving and texting. I would watch those videos and I'd be like, man, that is nuts. You know, surely this is just magnified, you know, because of the nature of his channel. He's just pulling these exaggerated clips. You know, there's no way that people are just out texting and driving all the time. That is incorrect. Everybody is on their phones on the road. Since riding motorcycles, I have become so much more aware. There was one guy on his phone right there. I mean, it is crazy. It is crazy. Everybody texts and drives. Why do you become more aware of that when you're riding a motorcycle? Well, you have to be 100% aware and extremely perceptive when you are riding a bike. I would argue you need to be 100% aware and perceptive while you're driving a car as well. But, you know, regardless of what I believe, modern vehicles have lane assist, they have cruise control, they have all sorts of goodies. Some of them have autopilots. You know, it's a whole different ball game. And on top of that, if I were to take both hands off of my bike right now, I mean, sure, I'd keep going straight. I'd be decelerating. I would not be able to maintain my speed. But I would have just really no control over the bike. I guess I could technically turn, but if I lean a little bit too much, well, you know, I can't correct that without my hands. I'm just going to drop the bike. But when you're in a car, you know, you could drive without your hands for quite some time. You could turn with your knees. You could, you know, just go hands-free for a bit. No knees. Who knows? Point of that, you know, whole tangent tirade is that you don't need to be 100% aware and perceptive when you are driving a filthy little car, but you do when you're on a motorcycle. So you tend to pick up on things like that. You tend to be more aware of the people around you. You're always looking for escape routes when you're riding, and part of that is looking at who's driving around you. You know, if the guy, you know, if I'm in a 3-lane road and the guy to my left is, you know, driving slow but paying attention, the guy to my right is speeding up, slowing down because he's looking at his phone, and, you know, the guy in front of me slams on his brakes, guess who I'm swerving in front of? The guy on the left who's paying attention. Sure, he's going slow, but he's not going to speed up and run me over because he's texting Jessica asking why she never called him back after their date last night. You know, second thing I've become so much more aware of is the weather outside. Specifically, temperature changes and temperature differences. Oh my goodness. On days like today, where it is muggy, it is hot, I think we're in the high 80s, low 90s, and if I had to guess, 100% humidity, if not, you know, definitely in the 80s or 90s, it's just not enjoyable. When you're driving a car, the only time you have to worry about the weather outside is for the 5-second walk from the door to the car. You know, it doesn't matter if it's raining, if it's cold, if it's hot, if it's humid, if it's dry out. Doesn't matter. You can still drive a car and you'll be totally fine. Pardon me. But when you're riding a motorcycle, it could be clear skies, sunny day, or in my opinion, I prefer a little overcast. But if it's like 98 degrees and humid, doesn't matter how perfect of a day it is, you're not going to have a fun time on that bike, especially if you're wearing full gear. I mean, a helmet alone, I take off my helmet and I feel like I'm dripping sweat all summer long. Spring and fall, you have a lot more enjoyable ride, but, you know, in normal real life, not even driving, but just out and about walking around, you would sit here and think, oh, 60 degrees outside, that's the optimal temperature. That's when I want to be outside and walking and hanging out, t-shirt and pants or whatever, or some shorts and a hoodie, which is fine. But when you're riding a motorcycle and it's 60 degrees out, you are going to be cold, man. That wind chill, even if it's not windy outside, you're going 60 miles per hour, you're getting some wind. Wind chill is a real thing, and, you know, there is a fine line between a 78 degree day and like a 60 degree day. You will be cold. So definitely became a lot more attentive with the weather. Texting and driving, definitely one of the biggest ones too. The third one, and probably my final one as I get close to my destination here, third thing is just how bad people are at driving. Which I guess kind of ties into the texting and driving thing, but this is more so driving skills, because I have seen what I'm going to mention next happen to people who are 2 hands on the wheel at 10 and 2, eyes on the road. People suck at driving, dude. I have seen so many times, I've got so much footage of people, you know, swerving onto the wrong side of the road, crossing double yellows and just swerving lanes. I mean, people people don't know how to drive. And you really do just become so much more aware of that when you are in a motorcycle, because you also have to be looking out for these people who aren't paying attention way more closely. Like a light tap from somebody swerving over and just hitting you, you could break your leg, you could fall over and literally die, you know, even if it's just a small little love tap. When you're in a car, who gives a damn? Scrape up some paint, oh well, I'm still gonna make it to my doctor's appointment, doesn't matter. But not many people out there who know how to drive. I think we need stricter driving tests on these roads, especially out in Georgia, man. Our insurance rates are so dang high because nobody can drive out here. I think we are actually considered one of the top 5 worst states to drive in because people are maniacs. People are selfish, and they're selfish with no awareness and no driving ability. Anyway, that's all I really had to talk about today. I'm going to try, like I mentioned in my previous video before this, I am going to try and upload more frequently. I've got a consistent flow of ideas coming in, and yeah, we're going to have some fun with this channel starting real soon. I've got some group rides planned, I've got some more photo shoots planned, I've got a couple meets coming up. I will be recording as much as I can. So y'all have a great day. Bye.